All right, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I don't know if you know what day it is, but it is Tuesday. Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins here. I want to keep you updated with the storm system that we're tracking across the central U.S. Blizzard warnings for parts of the northern plains, the Dakotas, Denver, northeast of Denver, but northeast Colorado, Nebraska. And then that system will actually pull a cold front through here Thursday, and from that, we could actually get some strong thunderstorms Thursday afternoon, and then much cooler air coming in back behind it. So, want to keep you updated on that. Let's get started with where we're at right now. You can see the system is way out there, obviously, right? As I mentioned, cranking up across the central U.S. Look at the southern end of that. You can already see some stronger storms forming down in the East Texas area. Oklahoma has some as well, too. Look at the watches and warnings. So, the purple, the pink, I should say, that you see up there, that basically is areas of winter storm warnings. But you see the red in here, those are blizzard warnings. And that's when you add wind to all the snow that you're going to get. They're going to get over a foot of snow in some locations. And the winds here in the red will be blowing 50, 60 miles per hour. And it's going to be cold. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's going to be a blizzard in parts, especially South Dakota and Nebraska, western Nebraska. Now, on the south end of that, we do have some watches and warnings going on now. In fact, severe thunderstorm warnings now here just south of Dallas, one just north of town. I mean, literally right in the suburbs of Dallas. If you look at the watch, it's a tornado watch out there for this area for today. And that will continue. I think it should shift a little bit further to the east. We've actually had a report of a tornado. This is in the last 12 hours or 24 hours, but this one was from early this morning. And that was in the Wayne area. So tornadoes reported with damage, tree damage at this particular point. So that's really good news if that's all the damage that there was. But now let's take a look at where that's going to go. So obviously today it's East Texas. That shifts eastward this afternoon and tonight into Louisiana and Mississippi. All right, the severe weather chance, at least. Obviously, the snowstorm that's going to be up in the Dakotas and Nebraska is going to be ongoing as well. Now, this is Wednesday, and you see that threat continues to shift slowly off towards the east in the Mississippi and even parts of the western panhandle. Slight risk getting over towards the Tallahassee area. They're actually a little east of that. But you see that shift in the pattern. Now watch what happens as we get into Thursday. This is the day when we see the front come through. So we're in this slight risk for severe weather, which is like a 2 out of a 5. All right, so it's not a big chance, but it is a chance. The air out ahead of it's warm and muggy, right? And in fact, it will get warmer and muggier with some really good south winds coming tomorrow, right? And that's going to bring in lots of higher dew points, lots of moisture. And then coming in behind the front is a lot of drier, cooler air. And so literally that's the old school warm, moist air going up over the cold air. So you're going to get some pretty good thunderstorms coming through with it. Now, let's start with the forecast model. Let me show you this. This is today, no problems out there, a beautiful day. Tonight we'll see a patch or two of fog, but notice what happens. This is tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. We've got a little bit of a breeze. Not a lot, but enough wind, I think, to keep the atmosphere mixed up, where we'll only see a few patches of fog, and especially north of I-4, okay? Now, during the afternoon tomorrow, it gets breezy. Winds will be about 15 miles per hour. We'll see gusts into the 20s tomorrow, but we stay dry and more muggy. You'll notice that with that southerly breeze, the humidity will come back up. Now, here's the frontal boundary. I probably could redraw it. It's actually going to be sitting right about in here, but you can see the line of storms with it. Now, this is Thursday morning at 7:30. We start off dry, all right? Now, as we go through the afternoon, here it comes. So let me back this up a little bit for you. Citrus County, around noon, we can start to see some rain. See, it's weakening a little bit as it gets here. And then 1 o'clock, you see it starting to push into Pasco County. Now, the timing may change just a little bit, but this looks to be just kind of rain to me. Now, watch as we get towards about 4 o'clock. This batch here, I think that will be our best chance to see some showers and thunderstorms. And that's our best chance to see any severe weather with it right there. Okay, so that's something that we'll be watching for the afternoon hours. And then watch, it doesn't last very long. I mean, it comes through. Let me back up here. That's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7:30. So what it's doing is it's saying there's going to be some kind of good line of storms that gets into Pinellas, comes across Hillsborough and Polk County, and then starts the weekend, all right? This is still a couple days out, so we'll let the model rerun a bunch of times and see what it comes up with, but right now that's the threat. Now, let me back this up. For the most part, one of the things we look for, like in tornado instances, is what are the winds doing? So this is 4 o'clock on Thursday. For the most part, the winds are out of the south and southwest, and then as you go up a little bit more in the atmosphere, they're kind of doing something like this. All right? That, to me, is not the biggest sign for tornadic activity. If the surface winds, instead of being like this, if they were more like this, I'd be more concerned about us having a tornado. So the setup is not super big for tornadic storms. However, anytime you get these little cells coming in offshore like this, that is something that we'll have to watch. Now, there are some winds aloft, and because of that, we could end up seeing some just straight line winds in these storms, 50, 60 mile per hour winds. Anything 58 and above would give us a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's what we want to watch. It's Thursday afternoon. Here are the winds out ahead of that. This is tonight into tomorrow afternoon. That's about 3 o'clock. You can see we've got winds in the teens and gusting in the 20s, kind of parallel to shore, right? And then watch as we go through Wednesday night and Thursday morning. Those winds stay up. It stays breezy all night Wednesday night and Thursday. In fact, it's gusting in the mid-20s early Thursday morning. There's frontal boundary sitting right there. And then it pushes through as we go through Thursday afternoon. So you can see the northwest wind starting to take over here. That's when the storms start to push out. We'll be watching that time frame for the best chance for severe weather, and then through the evening hours it moves away. The winds calm down a little bit. I think we'll keep some wind out of the north and northwest initially, then around to the north, but that is what's bringing in the cold air. So let's talk those rain chances. Obviously it's a high chance on Thursday. Now, this shift in the pattern also changes the rain pattern, okay, because it's pushing cold, dry air across the eastern half of the United States. The storm track slides southward down near us, right? So what you're seeing here is the initial front coming through on Thursday. Saturday night and Sunday morning, we're probably going to see another chance for rain. No severe weather is expected in this. Okay, not worried about that one at this particular time, but it's the weekend, so trying to get that weekend forecast right. Right now, it looks like it's late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, and both the afternoons look okay, but that one we'll have to watch, okay? It's a little far out in time. Now, let's talk cold air. So here it comes, okay? This is Wednesday, tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. There's the core. See it right there? Low is driving right in here. That's why they had the blizzard. Look at the colder air, the purples that's coming down here across the northern plains. Now, this is kind of moving off towards the southeast, east-southeast, and not as much south-southeast. So the core of this cold is going to stay up here to the north. This is Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. But we get a taste of it. Now, some of the models have been coming deeper to the south with it. The latest runs are staying a little bit further to the north, but either way, 80-degree highs that we have out there like today, and 60 in the morning, upper 50s, that's going away. All right, that's well above average. We should be about 75 and 57, I think it is, this time of year. That's going away. So here are the just raw forecast numbers from the GFS. And you can see, look at the difference. Highs go from 80 to about 79 through Thursday, down to 67 on Friday. Saturday is 65, 61. This is trending even colder Sunday. And I think Sunday morning we'll have that rain around, and then the clouds will be slow to clear, so it's just going to be a cool, raw day on Sunday, right? And then Monday we start to see more sunshine, and then again we'll have to watch for another chance for rain on Tuesday and Wednesday. But you see next week staying maybe 70 degrees for a high. Look at the lows. So these have trended up a little bit, especially as we get into Saturday, only because of the fact that we have some clouds around. So we'll have to see how low this wants to get. But certainly, keep in mind, these are for Tampa, which means it's going to be warmer at the immediate coast, a little bit, not much, but much cooler north you go of Tampa. So by Sunday morning, 44 degrees, we could see some spots in the upper 30s in Citrus and Hernando County, depending on how much cloud cover we have with the rain for early Sunday morning. So we'll see. Either way, guys, get those jackets ready. It is going to be a chilly weekend ahead. And you know what? I think that's basically going to go all the way through next week. So you see our weekend forecast in the low to mid 60s and then close to 70 by Sunday. Let me show you this. This is the forecast for temperatures December 19th through the 23rd, so leading up to Christmas. And you see how we're below average, right? Much below average. Let me back it up. Look at this part over the northern plains. I mean, really cold. really cold. Below average up there. But of course, we're going to stay below average as well, too. And average now is about 74, 75 at this point. Maybe even 73, actually. Yeah, it will be. Like the last week of December is about 73. This is leading up to Christmas. This will take you through Christmas, through the 27th, and you see we stay cold. And then we also see, let me zoom this out a little bit. We also noticed that core went from the northwestern plains over towards the Midwest and the Great Lakes. So the cold air is going to be shifting to the eastern half of the United States. And when that happens, you get a little bit warmer out west, California. Yeah, you see that. And then you get cooler in the east. And that's exactly what we expect. So when this front comes through Thursday, what's today, the 13th or 14th, 15th? The second half of the month looks chilly. Looks cooler than average. So I hope you enjoyed all the 80s that you had out there. All right, guys, so again, the timing for severe weather is most likely going to be, it looks like now, Thursday afternoon into the early evening hours. It's not going to be a long-lived event. This should last, in any one location. We're talking about showers and storms for about an hour or two. All right, and that line will be coming through. So we're going to keep a close eye on it for you here and, of course, on air at 10 Tampa Bay. Don't forget to get your weather radios just in case we're kind of into that season now where the weather gets quiet and then we have a cold front coming through and we have a chance for some stronger storms. And that's basically what we're setting up for. All right, guys, that's it from the Weather Center. I hope you are having a great Tuesday out there. Take care. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms.